YouTube chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Look at Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Y'all remember 2 months ago when Joe said he's done being messy in 2024? He's no longer going to engage in the fuckery? Well, that did not take long for Joe to get back to the bullshit. Now, I'm sure you guys already knew this was going to happen. Anytime there's a podcast fallout or breakup that has Joe's name in it, you guys already know it's going to be a long breakup. Now, on their final episode that they actually did together, Mandii and Bridget had some very interesting accusations towards Joe. Now, if you guys have not listened to that episode, make sure you guys go to Spotify to go check it out. They pretty much said, yo, we were trying to get a bunch of guests, and when we asked Joe about it, Joe did not deliver those guests to us, but instead, he brought them on his podcast for the interview. Not only that, but Mandii and Bridget also called this the beginning of the end, and also said this was when they realized that the Joe Budden network did not really fuck with them. Here's what they said.
Here's also the funny thing, and we could just talk about it now. This is no beef or shade.
No shade at all.
Let's be very clear. We wanted 3 guests.
Yeah.
We only asked help to get 3 guests. We asked specifically the JBN for Jasmine Sullivan, Lotto, and Kevin Samuels.
Yep.
Guess where those 3 went? Onto the JVP. Literally no interaction with us at all. We specifically asked for those 3 guests, and instead of those guests coming to us, that was probably to me a little bit of the beginning of the end. Even.
Oh yeah, that was where I realized y'all don't fuck with us. Y'all don't really fuck with us for real.
We are trying to grow. You got us Big Frida.
Yep.
We were getting and money long. We were bringing in guests. We specifically asked for those 3 artists.
Yeah.
And by the time all 3 of them ended up going on to, it was like this isn't the family or the network, or we're not getting the synergy's
not real.
It wasn't
but
real.
Also,
yeah.
I mean, the Kevin Samuels thing. Kevin Samuels thing was frustrating because he was replying to us
on his
YouTube live.
On his YouTube.
So he knew who we were. He heard what we said. He watched the episodes.
He responded.
He responded, but wouldn't actually come on the show.
Ouch. Those are some pretty heavy accusations. Now, Mandii has had her own podcast, Horrible Decisions, for many years. Looks like she was trying to get her podcast popping off by getting big names. You guys remember Kevin Samuels was hot as fish grease at the time. So obviously getting him on your podcast where you guys would debate different views and ideas, that would have done crazy numbers. I'm thinking it probably would have done what Cat Williams did for Shannon Sharp, but Joe was not having it. He hopped into the JBTV Twitter spaces to clear his name. If you guys are not on the JBTV Twitter, please get on there if you actually enjoy the Joe Budden podcast. But looks like Joe did not see it the same way as Mandii and Bridget. According to Joe, their podcast was still too early. They haven't built anything on their own, so he felt like they did not deserve to have those high profile names at the time. Here's what Joe said.
Like, what did you build to make a Kevin Samuels or Lotto or Jasmine Sullivan want to come there in the middle of an album cycle? Kevin Samuels, diva ass, may he rest in peace. We that nigga was so tough to get on there. I carried an umbrella for that nigga in the rain like I was Farnsworth Bentley. Like, none of this shit was a walk in the fucking park to do. And
That's
then you
a part
got to
of the
deal
dedication.
with motherfuckers got boyfriends, periods, attitudes. Then y'all start beefing with each other. Now I got to come in on an off day. Now I get jammed up, which we can't talk about because y'all bitches hate each other. It's like, yo, dog, I don't want nothing. Now Rory's coming over, counting the pastas and wines. Like, it was a mess. It was a fucking mess. I kind of get triggered and angry when every podcaster that become available, y'all say, oh, let's go Joe, get him on the network. Nigga, no. Keep all of their asses away from me. My model is working. Somebody got to pay for the editing. Somebody got to pay for people coming in here to work on a Monday every day for y'all to build something that don't nobody own but y'all. Nobody owns this. I'm sick of these fucking entitled podcasters that just want to run around and beg for checks without putting in any type of work. If you own it, go do it. Then why are we talking about a guest at episode 3? My model is if there are 3 personalities there, then why are we talking about a guest at episode 3? At episode 4?
So would you
Why
say
are y'all not just working on your own chemistry and building your own audience? So now here y'all come to a network. Hey, can we get Lotto? And again, I didn't have those talks, but I'm just rolling with their theory. Like, they probably had it with somebody, and that person was smart enough to not come tell me. Because that sounds crazy to me.
So are you continuing to subscribe to the notion of it's just best to just basically build your catalog and everything else will come to fruition? Because it seems as if, I mean, episode 3 is super early to be asking for a guest like that. Would you have felt better if they would have built their catalog a bit further before they start asking for esteemed guests?
Listen, my motto is build it and they will come. A lot of other podcasters clash with me there. So I don't want to fight or try to convince anybody of anything. I can only give you what has worked for me and countless other people. If you don't want to do that, then go get a deal from wherever any one of these little ad companies is going to give you a deal.
God damn, Joe, why you had to do them like that? Maybe this was the creative differences that Mandii and Bridget were talking about in their press release. Now, you would hope this is something that they would have talked to Joe about at the beginning before they signed to him. Hey, we would like to have guests early on our podcast. If that's cool with you, we're on board. If not, we're gonna have to go separate ways. This should not have been an issue at episode 3 of your podcast. But I will say it is a little bit slimy that they asked Joe for those 3 guests specifically, and Joe brought those 3 guests on the Joe Budden podcast instead of their own podcast. It's like telling your mans the 3 specific chicks that you want to smash, and next thing you know, your mans is taking them down one by one. Nigga, go get your own bitches. Unless Lotto and Jasmine Sullivan specifically wanted to be interviewed on the Joe Budden podcast, I think Joe should have probably gave them those 2 and kept the Kevin Samuels one for himself. Audience-wise, I think it just makes sense that way. And also, you're building trust with your new podcast that you just signed. Listen, man, you guys get in the comments below. Tell me what you guys think about what Mandii said and also Joe's response back to them. I do apologize if I sound different on here. Your boy is a little bit under the weather. Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.
Hey guys, shop with my boy Chick Smooth at chicksmooth.shop.